Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Monday, March 24th, 2025. Stand up for your country. So I'm delirious because it's only Monday. I feel like it's Friday. We're going to have Tom Homan, the security czar, the border czar, on tomorrow. And that's going to be some breaking news in that interview. The column I wrote on BillO'Reilly.com is called Frankie and Donnie, a little cheeky, about FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and Donald Trump. They're governing exactly the same way. So when your Democratic friends hear about that, interesting reaction. And I wrote a message today about DEI. So Stephen A. Smith, who I will appear with live next Sunday here on Long Island at the Westbury Music Fair, he wants to debate Donald Trump about DEI. Well, he's going to get a shot with me about it. And I want you to read the message of the day because it lays out what DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is really all about. All right, so we are so busy here, that's why I don't know what year it is. Talking Points Memo is the Democratic Party's counter-attack. So as you know, party's in bad shape. Latest poll has it at 30% approval. The lowest number ever was 29%, 2013, when Barack Obama was having trouble. Now only 30% of Americans approve of the Democratic Party. So the leader of the Democratic Party is Senator Charles Schumer of New York. He's the head of the Senate Democrats, the minority leader. And he voted to extend government spending until September. The radical left, which still dominates the Democratic Party, now are trying to get Schumer. They want him to resign. They want to get him out, hit him with a stick, whatever they want to do. Okay? Now, Schumer knows he's in trouble. He even had to postpone some of his book tour because they were afraid the radical left Democrats would show up and disrupt Schumer's book presentations. So Schumer is trying to counterattack, went on Meet the Press yesterday. Go.
And our caucus is united in fighting Donald Trump every step of the way. Our goal, our plan, which we're united on, is to make Donald Trump the quickest lame duck in modern history by showing how bad his policies are. He represents the oligarchs, as I said. He's hurting average people in every way.
All right, the oligarchs, sure. Now, if you really think about what Schumer says, it basically says, we are going to oppose everything that Trump does. Nothing that he does is worthy. Nothing. So we're in business, the Democratic Party is to try to destroy everything he does. That's how bad he is. That's kind of unprecedented. Abraham Lincoln had it. Okay, the Democratic Party in the 1850s, all right, they didn't want anything to do with the Republicans. And when Lincoln got in there, they didn't want to hear about Lincoln. I can't think of another time in history where one party which said, we don't care what he does, Trump. It's bad. Whatever he does is bad. So we'll oppose. That's what Schumer's saying. That's not a plus for the Republic. Now, there is a tour going on. The two very high-profile Democrats, Bernie Sanders, a senator from Vermont. Now, I do my brand new YouTube commentary solely on Bernie Sanders. Bernie's not going to like this, all right? But it's fact-based, right down the lane. Ocasio-Cortez, the congresswoman from New York, is with Sanders. And this is the oligarch tour. Here's Cortez. Go.
And we are at a point where the wealthiest people in the world, like Elon Musk, and all the Republicans enabling him, are turning to loot what is left of Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security to bankroll even deeper tax cuts and sweetheart contracts for themselves, their fellow billionaires, and their corporations. And our political system right now is ill prepared for this abuse of power. In fact, our political system enables it, starting with the role of money in politics. But I am here to remind you that we are not powerless in this moment. People are starting to put the pieces together.
So money in politics, I think George Soros shuddered when he heard that. As probably the biggest political donor in the world. Radical left, George Soros. Now, what she said is a very well-crafted speech. It's not lunatic stuff. She didn't write it. It's right out of the Marxist playbook. Okay? Right out of, let's get rid of the czar. Okay? Let's get rid of the Cuban government, Batista. Let's get rid of the Americans in South Vietnam. Let's get rid of the Chinese nationalists after World War II, Chiang Kai-shek. Same speech. Oligarchs enriching themselves, stealing from the people. This is who Ocasio-Cortez is. She's not a Democrat. She's a socialist, probably a communist, because she believes in the wealth tax, seizing private property. So Sanders definitely a communist, no doubt about it. Ocasio-Cortez, I don't even know if she knows the difference. All right, so they're on the tour. About 30%, I'm putting my stat on it, of Americans want socialism. They don't want to compete, because competing in our capitalist society is hard, difficult. You may fail. Pretty much everyone who's in the capitalist system does fail from time to time. They don't want to do that. Now, you can move to Denmark. If you show up there, they might grant you citizenship. Okay, if you say you're fleeing Trump, you need asylum. And you don't have to compete in Denmark. You can get everything. Now, you're not going to get rich. Okay, you'll get by. 30% of Americans are in that boat. Yeah, I don't really want to do this. Too hard. I'd rather go fishing, smoke pot, whatever. I don't really want to. That's who these remarks. And they're trying to get more and more and more and more Americans to think that way, that the system screws them. That Trump and Musk and all these people. Okay. Now, there are three things that have to go their way for the progressive left to make a comeback and the Democratic Party. They're kind of linked. All Democrats are not progressive left. There are some moderate Democrats. Okay. So the first one is the immigration thing. Trump is ahead on that. Seal the border out, 94% fewer intrusions than there were under Biden. That's a big number. It's a big win for Trump. Now he's got to do the deportation. And again, we have Homan on tomorrow. You don't want to miss that interview. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, prices have to come down. Oil prices are coming down. All right? And that'll bring down gas prices at the pump. Should bring down your utilities, although utility companies aren't going to want to do that. But I'm keeping my eye on that. So that's number two. And then peace in Ukraine. Number three, it's big. It's big for Trump. Now, if Trump loses all three of those, he loses the midterms. Then the Democratic Party will come back. Okay. Now, there's a Morning Consult poll out. Who would you support as a Democrat in 2028? This is just among Democrats. Kamala Harris, 36%. They want her back. Pete Buttigieg, 10%. And Cortez, 5%. Walz, 5%. Gavin Newsom, 5%. Out of that crew, there really isn't anyone at this point in history that could come close to defeating Donald Trump or the vice president. Okay, it's not. But if things go south for Republicans, that will change. Finally, the big Democrat, the one who could resurge the party, is Michelle Obama. Far and away the most popular Democrat in the country. And here's what she said last week. Go.
But when people ask me would I ever run, the answer is no. I mean, then if you ask me that, then you have absolutely no idea the sacrifice that your kids make when your parents are in that role. Not only am I not interested in politics in that way, but the thought of like putting my girls back into that, that spotlight when they are just now establishing themselves. It's like, okay, I think we've done enough. Question asked and answered, never going to happen.
I hold her at her word. I think it's never going to happen, because if it were going to happen, it would have happened already. So that's very interesting, and that's the memo. The average American's feeling financial strain more than ever before. Expenses up, but wages are not. So it's no surprise that folks are resorting to credit cards to get by, even if that means carrying high balances and interest rates into the 20s or 30s. If you are a homeowner and stuck in this cycle of mounting debt, you need to call my friends at American Financing. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving homeowners an average of $800 a month. Plus, if you act now, you might be able to skip your next mortgage payment. There are no upfront fees, so it costs nothing to find out how much you could save. It's time to break free from the stress of debt. So please call American Financing today and take control of your financial future. 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net. All right, we've reached 900,000 YouTube subscribers. We need 1 million. I wanted to do by Easter, but I don't know. Although I have a really good one up on Bernie Sanders. Really good. This is free. It's youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. Sign up and you get 2 commentaries a week, which I think you will enjoy. You know what I've noticed? That on the internet, people want to see conspiracy stuff. The more conspiratorial you are, more people watch and listen. Not good. We don't do that. All right, let's go to the mail. Noel Thompson, Horseshoe, North Carolina. If the left is using the judiciary system to delay action, couldn't Donald Trump be accused of the same thing? Because he delayed his indictments. The pot is calling the kettle black. We have confidence in our judiciary and legislature system to temper a tyrant. Noel, number one, I don't know about pot or black or anything like that. Number two, you're correct. Donald Trump did not want these cases against him to move forward. And that was his right as an American citizen. The judiciary against his policies, which Americans, most of them agree with, is a whole different thing. So, pot, kettle, black devolves into the cliche. Okay, what's the cliche? Is comparing apples to oranges. Ooh. Wendy Brooks, Barrington, New Jersey. Someone I know said Donald Trump is deporting all illegal immigrants, whether criminal or not. I will find out tomorrow with Tom Homan exactly what's going on there, Wendy. Okay? Sandra Schaefer, Williamsburg, Virginia, nice town. Could you please clarify all the firings from Trump's executive orders? I'm confused. I thought you said the president cannot fire anyone in a federal agency. That has to be Congress's decision. Number one, president can fire people in federal agencies because the executive branch controls what happens inside those agencies. What the president cannot do is disband an agency. Congress has to do that. But the president is the boss of the Department of Justice, Interior, on and on and on and on. Clarify? I can't clarify anything. I don't know who's coming and who's going. They don't put that out. We'll get numbers, I'm sure, fairly soon. Gloria Shoemaker, Westmoreland, Tennessee. What has the Department of Education actually done to help children? All I hear is Trump is going to hurt our children. but I have not heard how he's going to hurt our kids. He's not going to hurt the kids. He's just going to give the authority for the local education to the states. It's a better system. Streamline it. Brett O'Donnell, Levittown, Pennsylvania. Bill, please explain to me. President Trump can run on not starting new wars, but also convince our enemies, Iran in particular, that not heeding his commands will result in devastating military consequences. Because a war is different than a military strike. Something like that. War is a full-blown thing. But you could punish countries militarily and boom. And that's what Trump will do. Sean Burns, Prosper, Texas. Can you identify a similar conflict like the Ukraine war, and what can history teach us about how it was resolved? North Korea invades South Korea, all right, after World War II. United States goes in, stops that. North Korea goes back to its boundary. That would be the perfect solution, but the United States doesn't want to fight Putin because there's nuclear weapons now. John King, Savannah. Hey, Bill, really looking forward to the new book, Confronting Evil. Question, if I took my copy to Russia, could I get Vlad to sign it? Maybe, but then you would be put in a gulag. So, Vlad Putin is on the cover of Confronting Evil. I do not believe this will be a bestseller in Moscow. They might want to read it, but if you're caught with it, not good. Concierge member David. Bill, I must say, the reportage between you, Cuomo, and Stephen A. can be amusing. All right, here we go. Sunday, 6 days from now, Westbury Music Fair, Long Island. It's going to be the greatest show. Oh, I have it already outlined. Now, I'm going to be on Stephen A.'s podcast today, okay? And so I'm going to give you a little sample there, but you want to come see us. If you're around the area, or even if you just want to take a quick weekend in, it's worth it. Just go to BillO'Reilly.com. You get a little button. We push it. You get good seats, all right? And we've opened up some new VIPs. VIPs sold out fast. We got a few. I think we got 15 left. Okay, other stuff in our store. We have the limited edition of Killing the Rising Sun. I say this because our leather-bound patent sold out. We don't have it for Father's Day, but we do have this. This is a beautiful gift for dad or granddad. Absolutely great. Then we have all the not woke gear, which they'll love as well. The hats, the polos, the t-shirts, everything there. Not woke gear, sweeping the nation. Word of the day, do not be Saturnine. SATURNINE. When writing to me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town if you wish to opine. And if you re-up your concierge or premium membership, remember, you get Confronting Evil free. It's big. Or any of my other books. If you haven't read Confronting the Presidents, that is a must read. All right, back with a final thought in a moment. We don't talk enough about those truly making a positive impact. So let's take a moment to discuss Delta Rescue, the world's largest no-kill care-for-life animal sanctuary. Home to more than 1,500 rescued animals. It is staffed by trained specialists who provide lifelong care, love, and safety. They do incredible work. But look, it's important to remember that Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions from us. I have donated, and so should you. Their founder, Leo Grillo, built a legacy of dedication and everlasting love for animals. So consider making it a part of your legacy too. Talk with an estate planner. Check out the estate planning tab at deltarescue.org. You can make a difference, even get potential tax benefits. So please visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. deltarescue.org. Last year, investors scored the highest profits in decades. Unfortunately, the rest of us were held back by stacks of bills and credit card debt. Well, Done with Debt has found a solution. They created a brilliant new strategy designed to tackle debt, put cash back into your hands, so you can finally save, invest, and live your life in comfort. Done with Debt goes head to head with credit card and loan companies. Their team of negotiators and legal experts work to significantly reduce your bills, eliminate interest, and erase penalties. Bottom line, Done with Debt helps turn crushing debt into financial freedom. But some of their strategies are time sensitive, so please don't wait. Get the life you deserve. Visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their strategists, absolutely free. Visit donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Final thought. So I was in Florida. What lovely weather. I hate that word lovely, but it really was magnificent weather in Palm Beach for the last 5 days. I got back yesterday. Was at the Joe Namath Fundraiser, and they did very, very well. And I want to thank all the athletes who were there, who contributed their money and time to, and there's Governor Palin who dropped by. I've known her for many years. She still lives in Wasilla, Alaska. There's Johnny Bench. I think he's the best major league catcher ever in the history of the game. So I enjoyed meeting him. I had never talked with him before. And there is Nick Saban, perhaps the best college football coach ever. All right? And I had not known him. So we had a really good time in Florida. And it's, I lived there, as you know, I taught high school in Florida. And then I lived there, based out of there to cover the wars in El Salvador and Argentina. Too hot for this Irish guy. But up until May 15th to October 15th, you got that hot arc. And people go, oh, well, we get an ocean breeze. No, it's hot. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people like the heat. And Florida is booming. Booming. Restaurants are packed. Everybody's there. Cars all over the place. But I had a good time. And I know a lot of people down there. I actually went out to dinner with two of the kids that I taught at high school. You believe that? 55 years ago. So that was fun. And I saw a comedian named Brian Kiley. He writes for Conan O'Brien. He didn't use one four-letter word, and his set was brilliant. Brian Kiley. If he comes in your town, you go see him. Not one F word, not one obscenity, nothing. Boom, right down the line. Every line was right there. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We will have Tom Homan here tomorrow. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We'll see you then. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.